Protesters throw soup at the Mona Lisa. Beijing steps up military pressure on Taiwan. Wildfires rage near Colombia's capital. More than 40 killed in artisanal mine collapse in southwest Mali. San Diego sees widespread flooding. Disposable vapes to be banned in UK for children's health.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Tuesday, January 30th, and here are your top stories. Climate activists battle weekend crowds at the Louvre Museum in Paris on Sunday to splash the iconic Mona Lisa with canned soup. No damage was done to the painting, which has been protected under armored glass since 2005. The Room of the State, where the painting is displayed, was evacuated calmly and closed for 90 minutes while the display was cleaned. The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci depicts an Italian noblewoman with a mysterious smile. It is one of the world's most famous works of art and attracts up to 10 million visitors to the Louvre per year.
Video shows two women throwing a red liquid at the painting before crossing the wooden barrier protecting it from crowds. One of the women removes her jacket to reveal a t-shirt reading Riposte Alimentaire, a food sustainability activist group in France, whose name means food response. What is more important? The second woman says to the shouting crowd, art or healthy, sustainable food? Museum workers can be seen rushing to block the view of the activists and the painting. International galleries have increasingly become a stage for climate protesters who have targeted famous paintings using food and paint to draw attention to the climate crisis. The Mona Lisa was previously targeted in 2022 by an activist who smeared cake on the painting, shouting, "Artists tell you, think of the earth. That's why I did this."
Taiwan's defense ministry said Saturday China sent more than 30 warplanes and a group of Navy ships towards Taiwan. The military pressure comes on the heels of an announcement that senior Americans and Chinese representatives were expected to meet in the Thai capital as the two countries seek to cool tensions. The Chinese People Liberation's Army sent 33 aircrafts, including Su-30 fighters, and 6 Navy vessels around Taiwan between 6 a.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday. Of these, 13 warplanes across the midline of the Taiwan Strait, an unofficial boundary that considered a buffer between the island and mainland. Taiwan has monitored the situation and employed its own forces in response to the activities.
U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping met on the sidelines of a summit in November in an effort to patch up frayed relations due to quarrels over a range of economic and geopolitical issues. U.S. National Security Council spokesperson Adrienne Watson said the planned meeting in Bangkok continues the commitment Biden and Xi made to maintain strategic communication and responsibly manage the relationship. Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said Friday, during talks, Foreign Minister Wang would make clear China's position on Taiwan and on U.S.-China relations, and discuss international and regional concerns.
Authorities have said forest fires destroyed more than 17,000 hectares in Colombia since November, as the country faces its hottest January in decades. More than 340 fires have been recorded during that period, spurred by prolonged droughts, record heat, and the El Niño weather phenomenon. Environment Minister Suzanne Mohammed said on Friday, adding that 26 fires were still blazing. President Gustavo Petro this week declared a natural disaster, allowing funds to be diverted from other budget items towards containing the blazes, and appealed for international aid.
Bogota's El Dorado International Airport returned to normal operations on Friday after restrictions the previous day affected 138 flights. This month is shaping up to be the hottest January in 30 years, according to Ghislaine Echeverry, director of the Institute of Hydrology, Meteorology and Environmental Studies in Colombia. Echeverry warned that February could see even higher temperatures, and only in March will rains help to mitigate the consequences of the extreme heat. Meanwhile, authorities are investigating whether arsonists are causing some of the fires, and police have arrested 26 people for fire-related offenses.
More than 70 people have died in southwestern Mali after artisanal gold mine collapsed last week. Officials have said the latest disaster in a region prone to mining accidents. While it was not clear what caused the mine collapse that occurred on Friday, the Ministry of Mines said in a statement on Tuesday that it estimated several miners have been killed in the Kangabar district in southwestern Kulikoro region. The ministry said it deeply regretted the collapse and urged miners and community in the area to comply with safety requirements. A spokesperson for the ministry, Baye Coulibaly, also told the Reuters news agency on Wednesday that the gold panner dug galleries without complying with the required standards.
Mali's government offered its deepest condolences to the grieving families and to the Malian people. It also called on communities living near mining sites and gold miners to scrupulously respect safety requirements and to work only within the perimeters dedicated to gold panning. Small-scale, informal artisanal miners are often accused of ignoring safety measures, especially in remote areas, and accidents like these are common in Mali, Africa's third-largest gold producer. While Mali's mining sector is dominated by foreign groups, including Canada's Barrick Gold and B2 Gold, Australia's Resolute Mining and Britain's Hummingbird Resources, artisanal mines continue to flourish and attract thousands of gold miners.
Winter storms for relatively dry San Diego are hit or miss, so the well-up of a Pacific front Monday stunned California's second-largest city even as it was expecting rain. It was the third of 3 Pacific storms to strike the West Coast since Friday, with the first bypassing the region and the second producing only about 1/3 of an inch of relatively warm rain. A city that walked it off was then punished by the third storm, which had been forecasted to be stronger. The National Weather Service said it was the wettest January day on record in San Diego. A high school in the city was being used as a temporary shelter after about 100 homes were in some way affected by the flooding.
The storm echoed the havoc of El Niño in 1983 or 1998. Classic years for the rainy weather phenomenon that brought widespread flooding, sizable surf, and even weeks of snow to Southern California. NWS meteorologist Brant Maxwell said, Monday's storm spun at the coast counterclockwise and hit northern Baja California, giving San Diego a glancing but still strong blow. The long-tailed jet stream, a permanent feature that usually aims storms much farther north, and the strong atmospheric river paired up with unstable air composed of warmer atmosphere colliding with colder climes, Maxwell said. Together, those elements charged up the day's storm.
Disposable vapes are set to be banned as part of a plan to tackle the rising number of young people taking up vaping. Measures will also be introduced to prevent vapes being marketed at children and to target underage sales. Figures from the Action on Smoking and Health charity suggest 7.6% of 11 to 17-year-olds now vape regularly or occasionally, up from 4.1% in 2020. The government said the ban is expected to be introduced across the UK. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is expected to explain the plan during a visit to a school on Monday. He said in a statement, as any parent or teacher knows, one of the most worrying trends at the moment is the rise in vaping among children, and so we must act before it becomes endemic.
It follows last year's announcement of a ban on the sale of cigarettes to anyone born on or after the 1st of January 2009 as part of an attempt to create a smoke-free generation. It is already illegal to sell any vape to anyone under 18, but the government said disposable vapes, often sold in smaller, more colorful packaging than refillable ones, are a key driver behind the alarming rise in youth vaping. It is not yet clear when the ban will be introduced, but it could be brought in using existing legislation designed to protect the environment. Campaigners have long argued that disposable vapes are wasteful and that the materials and chemicals used to make them, including their lithium batteries, make them difficult to dispose of safely. Once the timing is confirmed, retailers will be given 6 months to implement it.
The answer for yesterday was B, sensation. The ban became a sensation overnight. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of protesters throw soup at the Mona Lisa. Number 1, evacuate. 撤出撤空. Employees were urged to evacuate their offices immediately. Number 2, armor. 盔甲. A chink in somebody's armor. 剥弱环节. A single chink in our armor at the negotiation table means we could lose out badly. Number 3, splash, 泼洒, water splashed onto the floor. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.